Hi everyone, this is Vikram from Gigayasa Wireless. As you know, we are floating a tutorial series on hands-on 5G using software-defined radios, and this is the first tutorial in that series. Now in this tutorial, we will be setting up the Pluto SDR on this Windows operating system, and I will open a notepad file to show you all the steps that we are going to perform in this tutorial. So first we will open a page on the browser, and this page is provided by Analog Devices to download all the drivers that we require uh, for setting up the Pluto SDR on this system. So first driver is called as Pluto SDR that allows us to connect this laptop with the software defined radio, and then another driver for libIO. Now to validate or to verify the installation, I have to open the Jupyter notebook. So I'll activate one environment. So I am using Gigayasa environment where 5G toolkit is already installed. And that toolkit we will be using to access all the 5G APIs that we require to simulate 5G on these SDRs. So let's go to this folder where I have kept everything. So now I'll open Jupyter notebook and open this script. So this script we will be using to verify whether both these drivers are installed properly or not. So let me clear all the output first. Okay. Now let's try to import ADI. So this is saying that I don't know what ADI is. There is no library with the name ADI. So what do we have to do to install this? First, we have to install this driver. So let's download the Windows version. And let me save it to this directory. So this is installed. Now let's run to install this driver. So I accept the agreement, install it here and install. So let's click on the next. Okay. So Pluto SDR is set up now. Now I have to install the Python equivalent of this library. So which is PyADI IAO, PyADI interface for input and output. So let me open another conda prompt and activate the same environment, Gigayasa. Okay, so this is installed now. Let me run this another command. I don't know why we require two commands for the same library, but as they are there, so let's run them. Okay, so now both the drivers are installed. So let me restart this kernel and see whether we are able to call them or not. So this is saying that some other thing is missing. So let's try to install this other thing as well. So we will download this another driver from the same analog devices page. So let me download libIO driver. So this is Windows. I need an executable file. Okay, here it is, Control F, exe. So here is this one. So let's download this library as well. And install this driver. Okay, I accept the agreement. Install. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Let's close this environment and open Jupyter. Okay. Now we have to install the Python version of the libIO. which is this guy. Okay, so this is done. Now let me open Jupyter Notebook again. Okay, let me do one thing. I think I opened the whole thing in a wrong folder. Let me open a fresh Anaconda prompt and again activate the Gigayasa environment and change my directory to this folder where I have kept one script for validation. Now let me open Jupyter Notebook here. Okay, cool. So we are here again. Now let's try to run it again and see whether this. So now you can see it is imported successfully. Now these are some of the parameters that we are considering for the simulation or hardware emulation. So this is the place where we are trying to connect our SDR with the system. So this is the SDR I have at this point of time. So I hope you all can see it on the camera. It's a Pluto SDR, which is set up in 2x2 configuration. And the details of these SDRs are given in the manual, and that manual you can access from the description below. Now what I have to check is what is the IP address of this Pluto. So this is the Pluto I have. I can go to config. So this is 2.1, right? I'll copy this address and I'll paste this address into here. Sorry, at this place. Now let's try to set up the STR. Yep. So we have set up the STR now. Now let's transmit data. So for transmission, str.tx and pass whatever samples we have generated. Now let's try to receive the data, which is str.rx. So the str will sniff the wireless channel and access certain number of samples. How many samples? These many samples. We will discuss this in detail in upcoming tutorials. Now this is also successful. Now your STR is properly set up and you are good to go. So now the STR is set up to transmit and receive any sort of data. Now this is all from me. So thanks a lot for your time. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.